come again.
My name is Wally Havens. I was born in 1864 during the American Civil War. My mother told me my father was a musician on the Union side of the army, and he was MIA at the time of my birth. Prior to me breathing the air on this earth, my mother and father made a living out of making backyard hooch. It was a skill my mother passed down on to me. I was very young when I had my first taste. Now, I was 16 years old when my mother passed of pneumonia, and I was on my own with no family, so I set off to find myself a fortune in gold and silver. And as that goes, we all go on and on and on. Took me a while, but I found some. And now here's the story of Still Creek and what happened.
Well, that's the last of me. Now it's time to do the others. So, as the story goes, in 1880 I was part of a 4-man exploration team that was headed north to search the backcountry for silver and gold. Our method was to head out on our own for a week or so and then meet up in a town and discuss what we had found. When I hadn't showed up in a while, the boys came looking. Well, you see, what had happened is I'd come across this creek. It had no gold, it had no silver, it had no name. Just a whole lot of crows flying around, which later became known as Haven's Ravens, but I'll tell you that story another time. Now, after a night under the biggest damn moon you ever did see, I became aware of a presence here. Seemed somewhat unnatural, and the next day when Terry Toon showed up, I was glad for the company. You see, I have what you'd call a generational education. A recipe handed down to me for madness and mayhem and good times like no other. So Terry, being a blacksmith who always came prepared, started pounding out the metal, and soon enough we had us a still on that creek. In fact, that's how the creek got its name. Still Creek Moonshine was born. Well, Terry's no longer with us, and his remembrance lies here in this jug of moonshine. The moonshine that he loved so much. Shortly after Terry Toon's arrival, Robert Stringer showed up. He got his unusual family name of Stringer from his great-grandfather, who was a hangman in England during the Revolution. The men of Robert's family seemed to have a predisposition to unkind acts, but that seemed to miss Robert in this generation, who showed up here carrying a bag of instruments more bizarre than a liar's truth. And when he played, he enhanced the effects of the moonshines to rather an unearthly level. The place did seem to sour him, though. And he has also passed, so we leave this dedication for him. Well, it's about time you showed up. The last to show was Reno Ron, who made his fortune in silver in Virginia City. And using his financial influence, he became sheriff of that city, only to get run out of town after it was discovered he had caused a cave-in at the silver mine to collect on the insurance money. So he joined us here to exploit our wonderful product. He brought people in from all over. Some of those people would stay for a night, some for days, and some, well, everyone's got a pass. Reno Ron too. Well, that's us, the four ravens among the crows. It's now 1920 and our good times have come to an end, and it's time for me to bury the past so it can be found in the future. I just hope the person that finds this generational education can handle it.
On a normal Saturday afternoon, I'll get a call from Phil with a set list of songs he wants the band to play that night. Of course, once he starts drinking, that set list goes out the window. This Saturday morning, I got a call from his wife asking if I could come over now because something stranger than normal had happened last night. It sounds like Ron, our bass player, and Terry, the drummer, are already here.
Hey Robert, check it out. Phil went gray overnight.
Yeah, well, it happens to the best of us. What the?
Come on down and set up.
So last night, the wife and I were down at the fire. It'd been a late night the night before, so, we had to shut her down kind of early this time around. So it's getting on about midnight, and the wife decides to pack her in and go to bed, so up she goes. I'm on the back nine of an 18 pack with a couple of rounds of lightning here and there. You know, that stuff is getting scarce now, so we can't have much of it because the creek's dried up. Well, anyway, I figure I got one song left in me, so strap on the 6, turn the amplifier on full volume and start tuning. Then all of a sudden I hear,
"Hey! Shut the hell up! Now put out the fire and come to bed! You're gonna wake the dead!"
Play what?
Don't say I didn't warn ya!
so I hose down the fire. You know how you do that, right? Well, anyway, the fire is out, and that's when I sees it. There's a light down at Still Creek. Now, we keep the flashlights up there on the ledge in case you gotta walk the dog at night. And I thought one of them had fallen down, so I went down to retrieve it. So I did not get a step past that gate when the wind started picking up, just like it is now. And it got real cold, and it felt like there was 1,000 eyes on me. It was the Haven's Ravens were acting in a wild way.
What's a Haven's Ravens?
Haven's Ravens. You know what? I'll tell you about that later. So anyway, I get down to the creek bed, and it's been dry for about 6 months now. And that's where the light's coming from, and there's a whole bunch of wild weed covering it, some leaves, and I start taking it apart, and there's a metal trap door underneath. So I pulls the door open, and inside is a jug. It's clear, there's no label, no lid, but man, there was a smell I recognized. It was moonshine. Now, I can't honestly be honest with you on this part because I don't remember if I took a sip or not, but all of a sudden the lights got real bright and this music started playing loud in my head. Next thing I know, I wake up, it's morning, the jug's beside my head, and that song's still playing up here. I figure we gotta learn this song and play it at our next party.
We always play covers. People don't like us playing our own stuff. It keeps the booze sales up.
Yeah, but you know what? I think this one's different. It's special. I think we gotta just try anyway. What do you say? Fellas, should we learn? Let's do it. So I got something special for you. A way to learn the song without learning it. How that works, but we're gonna try it anyway. Okay, check it out. This is one of the jugs I found down there. I don't really understand the raven feather in it, but it just is. I want you all to have a drink of this special moonshine. One for you, Ron. One for you, Terry.
Cheers, mate.
One for you, Robert. And another one for me. Cheers to a magic new song.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I like that. That's perfect.
There you go, like this.
So I'd hoped with that shot of moonshine in them, they'd be able to see what I'd saw the night before. So I took the boys down to the creek to show them what I'd seen. But the daytime light has a way of hiding imagination, so I was unable to reproduce what I'd experienced. So, I came back up and got what was left in the beer barrel and brought her on down to the creek. And we did some cupless drinking because some heartless bastard couldn't bring any cups down. Like I didn't have enough to carry. Well, everybody had a good laugh at my story and headed her on back up. But I tell you what, knowing now what I didn't figure out then, the raven scream I heard after I put the fire out was a warning to a very rare man.
Bob, there's a raven screaming.
You see, after we pass, the soul has a yearning to return to the good times it once experienced. And when certain conditions are met, the soul's return is announced by a raven scream during a full moon. But on the other hand, when crows start cawing during a full moon at night, they are announcing something a little more sinister. And the two events happening at the same time has never happened until now. So all that remains now is to wait for the next full moon and invite as many people as we can. It's been a while since our last party, so I put together a special flyer to announce the occasion. You see, Still Creek Ravens had never played in bars or halls or theaters. We just played in our backyard selling homemade booze, which made us kind of a word of mouth or underground band. So, the flyer to announce our new song looked like this. So now we wait with great anticipation for the next full moon. You'll get to see what happened and the reason we tell this tale. This is what happens when generations come together to share in a good time. Damn, I get excited just thinking on it, and that we get to show it to you now. So the Still Creek Ravens bid you welcome. Come share in our good times and maybe share some of your own. We're ready for it, are you?
I think we got it, boss. Rough cut. You'll never get the soda that much again. No.
Hey, cheers, boys.
15
Good
seconds,
job.
it was just like right on. That what you did, I just went, yeah, that was half a goose pimple. I went, that's raw playing.
I can't remember what I did.
That's all I know, but
We upped our game of
really
pimple.
good. It was really good.
Yeah, super.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, man.
Sunny day.
Sunny afternoon jamming.
All right, boys, keep that rhythm going, will ya? There we go. Now, because the camera's on and I don't have my sunglasses on, I'm going to tell you the stories of Still Creek and why we're here today. Okay, we used to have these little pipes
run down our front street to take the water away. City decided they were going to put in these huge pipes to take the water away. Well, that was a good idea, but what happened was the creek running down my backyard was cooled off my moonshine, was cut off. No more water running down the creek, and it became the Still Creek. No more water, no more moonshine. Can I hear a oh? Yeah, it was rough. But okay, so here what's happened. One night, me and the wife are down at the fire pit. She decides to go to bed early. We're talking 2 a.m. And I'm down there and I'm thinking I got one more play on the guitar on me. So I wind up that guitar and I'm thinking I'm in a funky tune, so I better get straight. So I start tuning the guitar and it gets a little loud, and all of a sudden I hear this, "Hey! Shut the hell up! What are you trying to do, wake the dead? Put the fire out and come to bed." So I put the fire out. And when I put the fire out, I'm looking down at the Still Creek that hasn't run for 6 months, and now there's a light coming from down below. So I decide to go down and take a look at it and see what the heck is going on. And I'm walking down there, the wind's picking up, the crows are starting to speak and get nasty. And I see this light from the ground, and I push the leaves aside and I open up this little metal door, and this big bottle of moonshine comes up out of the ground. And I go like, "Hey, I've been brewing moonshine here for the last 25 years, as long as this band's been playing, but this moonshine is something different." So I bring it upstairs. I let the band have a go on this new moonshine, and all of a sudden we learn a new song. An original song that we're going to play for you next. Most people coming here don't want to hear originals, but we're going to do one for you. I think it's freaking fantastic. So, that's where we're going. We're going to wind them up, and then we're going to go. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Thank you. Where the hell's my damn ride? Whoa, okay. Oops, almost forgot. Come on, old feller. We got better things to do. Yeah, come on, let's go. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of the fun for this year. Maybe we'll have to do it again, but for now, I'm taking the moonshine back to the creek. So, I headed her on down to the creek all covered in snow, and I couldn't find that trap door to put the moonshine back. I didn't bring a shovel with me to bury it, so my somber moment turned into one of a little bit of rejuvenation. So I climbed back up those stairs, planning to do this, well, another year, and I guess I'll tell you that story later. Screaming